Hello and welcome to another Sprues and Brews unboxing. Today we're looking at some new additions for Necromunda, the Outland Beastmaster with Ripperjacks. So first of all, I just want to say a massive thanks to Games Workshop for sending us a free early review copy to have a look at and paint up for the channel. Yeah, I've been looking forward to these. The Beastmasters and their various beasts have been a long-standing part of Necromunda, and in the recent Ash Wastes book we got new profiles for them all, so you know, I was hoping that it wouldn't be too long until we saw the models, and the first set of these is now up for pre-order today, the Outland Beastmaster with Ripperjacks, and I've got to say, they look horrific, don't they? Yeah, they are nightmare fuel. They're, while keeping the channel PG friendly, they definitely come from the H.R. Geiger school of designing creatures. Yeah, they are all types of terrifying. So yeah, what we're going to do in this video is have a look at the kit, see how it goes together, have a look at all the parts, and then hopefully by the end of the video I should have this assembled and painted so we can see what they look like. But yeah, without further ado, should we crack open the pack and have a look at what's inside? So let's have a look at them, and they are just so creepy looking. I'm really looking forward to painting these up because they're really, really unsettling looking, and I like kind of freaky horror stuff. Yeah, and they weren't messing around with these guys. Looking at the instructions, they don't have too many parts. I think it's 15 parts in total across the whole lot, so they're not going to take too much work to build. Just bear in mind there are some kind of little fiddly bits that might need some, I guess, attention when you're clipping them from the gates and just cleaning them up. The kind of like prod that he's got in particular, which is here, there's kind of a bit of flash between the prongs of it, so just be careful when you're cleaning up that one. But yeah, it looks really cool. They've got a really kind of unique style to the Beastmaster as well. He looks more kind of feral and wild. Certainly doesn't look like any other kind of like gangers from the Underhive itself. In the box you do also get the rule cards for the creatures and the Beastmaster himself, with all the credits and everything on there. And within the assembly instructions that we'll look at in just a second, you've also got the rules for them there as well. So have a quick look at how they go together. Again, minimal parts, but some fiddly little parts on them. You've got the little kind of like antenna things on the Ripperjack itself, might be a little bit awkward, and that'd take your time with the Beastmaster. And same with that guy. So yeah, a little bit of work needed to build them, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So if you've not seen the rules for these guys, basically you buy him and then you buy the various beasts that come with him as well. There are different creatures that are available as well, so I suspect they'll probably follow this release maybe. Yeah, so looking forward to seeing those. So Beast Trainer, unlike other exotic beasts, any belonging to a Beastmaster must always remain within 6 inches rather than 3 inches. They've got a bit more kind of room away from him. One with a Beastmaster specialises in the handling of one particular beast. When hired onto the gang, players must choose either the Wasteland Giant Rats, Millosaurs or Ripperjacks as this Beastmaster speciality. So basically if you choose one of them and then that's a beast he has, you could have multiple ones with different creatures if you wanted. The Ripperjack itself flies. Solitary Hunter, it never gains the benefit of an assist or grants an assist to other fighters, and it has an enveloping attack. It folds its big weird flappy wings around a target and probably is quite unpleasant. An enemy fighter engaged by Ripperjack suffers a -2 modifier to any initiative checks they have to pass. In addition, any reaction attacks made against a Ripperjack suffer an additional -1 modifier to hit. So yeah, they're quite scary looking. So let's look at the parts and the rules for them. So what we're going to do now is cut to the future while I have these built and painted. And here's a look at the absolute nightmare fuel that is the completed Beastmaster and Ripperjacks. Yeah, they're freaky looking things, aren't they? Really enjoy painting them though. So the Beastmaster himself, really cool, because he's got like a different kind of style to him than lots of other Necromunda things. Kind of more kind of feral. He looks like he'd work well out in the Ash Wastes. So yeah, really fun. I hope we get more stuff kind of like that style. Like the armour he's wearing looks to be maybe, you know, using the shells and kind of like parts from various beasts that maybe live out in the ash waste, so that's really cool. Like I say, there's a few different options for Beastmasters and different creatures they can have, so I kind of hope that we get a few different sculpts of this guy to kind of go with the other creatures that he can command, like Millosaurs and things, so he's very cool. These guys are just horrific. In a good way. I love them so much. They're so freaky. They're so weird. They're just terrifying looking things. Yeah, they were good fun to paint too. Fairly straightforward to paint. So what I've done is kind of done them a kind of bone colour, and then I've used a lot of kind of like washes and contrast to try and get the kind of purpley and pinky bits. And then you can't really see on this one, you'll see better on the other one, the kind of horrific kind of maw thing that it's got. I've used a bit of Blood for the Blood God thin with water just to give it a bit of a glossy red effect as well. But yeah, they're really horrible looking things, I love them. So that's one of them, and then the other one is the kind of more kind of pose to strike one. And you can see on this one a bit better the kind of colouring that I've done around the maw, and yeah, it's horrific. He just kind of like lean forward quite a bit, ready to kind of like envelop his foe in his big horrific monster wings. Yeah, they are the stuff of nightmare, and I love them so much. So yes, that was a look at the new kind of Beastmaster and Ripperjacks set for Necromunda. This is up for pre-order today, I believe, and will be out next week. Hopefully this is a sign that the next kind of part of the Necromunda campaign book is on the way too, because I think there's a couple of Necromunda releases today, so with that, a lot of the models from the previous book should be out. I think we've got a couple still outstanding, but you know, we might not see some of those until the second book drops. What we do know is that this is going to be a continuing like story arc with different supplement books coming up, telling this story of basically the future of Necromunda and what happens now that Helmor's kind of been taken down. So really looking forward to seeing how that goes. We are planning on doing a Necromunda campaign on the channel as well, covering that campaign, so yeah, stay tuned for that. So if you have enjoyed this video, why not give us a follow. We'll be back soon with lots of cool content, so we'll see you real soon.